Update 1. I joked to my husband, maybe I'll meet someone better tonight, before heading out for girls' night. When I came home, the locks were changed and the man I thought I knew had already started building a life without me. I'm holding you back. I got a call last week, he continued, his voice steady. From a design firm in Seattle. They want to bring me on as lead furniture designer. It would mean moving, but it's the opportunity I've been working toward for years. My mouth went dry. Seattle? You can't be serious. My entire life is here, my job, my friends. You can't expect me to just uproot everything. I told him I needed time to think about it, to talk to my wife. His emphasis on the last word felt like an accusation. But after Friday, I realized something. You don't see a future with me, do you? Not really. I'm just the placeholder until someone better comes along. That's not fair, I said, tears springing to my eyes. I could feel this conversation slipping away from me, my usual tactics of deflection and emotional displays having no effect. You're twisting everything. Am I? Because from where I'm standing, it seems pretty clear. You're embarrassed by me, by what I do, by what we have together. No, I whispered. But even to my own ears, it sounded hollow. I love what I do, Jada. I'm good at it. And I thought you were proud of me. But lately, all I hear is how I don't measure up to your friends' husbands. How what I make isn't good enough. How I'm not good enough. I'm staying in the guest room tonight. I need some space to think about what I want. Maybe you should do the same. But he didn't come around. The next morning, Connor was gone before I woke up. No note. No text. Just empty space where he should have been. I stormed into my supervisor's office, claiming a family emergency, and left early. My plan was simple. I'd go to his workshop, force him to talk to me, make him see reason. We couldn't just leave things hanging like this. He didn't get to walk away from me. When I pulled up to the converted warehouse space he rented with 2 other craftsmen, I spotted his truck in the parking lot. Good. No running away this time. I checked my reflection in the rearview mirror, dabbed on some lip gloss, and straightened my blouse. You catch more flies with honey, after all. The workshop was filled with the familiar scent of sawdust and varnish. One of Connor's workshop partners, Dave, looked up in surprise when I walked in. Jada, Connor's not here. His truck's outside, I said, glancing around at the half-finished pieces scattered throughout the space. Yeah, but he left about an hour ago with Elise. Something about meeting clients for a custom piece. Elise? The name hit me like a slap. She was the interior designer who occasionally collaborated with Connor on projects for high-end clients. Tall, effortlessly elegant Elise, with her perfect taste and irritating habit of touching Connor's arm when she laughed at his jokes. Where did they go? I demanded, hearing the edge in my voice. Dave looked uncomfortable. I don't know the details. Some client's house, I think. I stormed back to my car, immediately pulling up Instagram to check Elise's profile. Nothing recent. I tried Connor again, straight to voicemail. This was beyond insulting. We were in the middle of the biggest fight of our marriage, and he was off with another woman, a prettier, more successful woman who shared his passion for design. When I got home, I did something I'd never done before. I went into his office and opened his laptop. What I found made my stomach turn. There were dozens of emails between Connor and the Seattle firm going back months. They'd been courting him since January, sending him project ideas, salary details, relocation packages. He'd responded enthusiastically, sending them portfolio pieces I'd never even seen. He'd been planning this without saying a word to me. And then there were the messages with Elise. Nothing inappropriate, nothing I could point to as evidence of anything beyond professional collaboration, but their easy rapport was obvious. She understood his design language, offered insightful suggestions, shared articles and inspiration photos. They had inside jokes. They had a connection. I sat back, a cold realization washing over me. Connor had built a whole life I knew nothing about: professional achievements, ambitions, connections. And why hadn't he shared it with me? Because I'd made it clear I didn't value any of it. Every time I dismissed his work as a hobby, compared him unfavorably to my friends' husbands, rolled my eyes at his enthusiasm, I'd been pushing him away without realizing it. No, this wasn't my fault. He should have talked to me. He should have made me understand how important it was. Instead, he just shut down, built his little secret world, and now was threatening to blow up our marriage over a stupid joke. By the time Connor came home that evening, I'd worked myself back into righteous anger. He found me sitting at the kitchen table, his laptop open in front of me. You went through my computer? His voice was quiet, dangerous. You've been hiding things from me, I countered. Seattle. Elise? Were you ever going to tell me, or were you just going to disappear one day? I tried telling you about Seattle last night, if you remember. As for Elise, she's a colleague, nothing more. A colleague you spend more time with than your wife. A colleague who gets to see the real you, while I get the leftovers. Connor looked at me with something like pity. You don't want the real me, Jada. You've made that perfectly clear. You want someone who makes more money, who has a real career, who can compete with your friends' husbands. That's not me. I'm taking the job in Seattle, he said quietly. I signed the contract today. The world seemed to tilt beneath me. What? Without even discussing it with me? What's there to discuss? You don't respect what I do. You're embarrassed by me. Why would you want to move across the country for something you don't even value? You can't just decide this on your own. We're married. Are we? Because lately it feels like we're just two people who happen to share an address. He ran a hand through his hair, looking suddenly tired. I don't want to fight, Jada, but I need to do this for me. And what about me? What am I supposed to do, just uproot my entire life? That's your decision. You can come with me, or the unspoken alternative hung between us like a physical presence. The weekend with my parents was excruciating. I had planned to tell them Connor was on a business trip, but he showed up Friday evening to help with dinner like nothing was wrong. He was perfectly charming, asking my dad about his golf game and complimenting my mom's new haircut. If my parents noticed the tension between us, they didn't mention it. It was during dessert that my mom casually asked, "So how's the furniture business going, Connor?" Before he could answer, I jumped in with a tight laugh. "Oh, still making tables that take months to finish and sell for less than they're worth." The silence that followed was deafening. I could feel Connor's eyes on me, but I refused to look at him. "Actually," he said after a moment, his voice steady, "I've been offered a position with Westbrook Design in Seattle. Lead furniture designer for their custom residential line." My mother's eyes widened. "Seattle? But that's so far away." "It's an incredible opportunity," Connor continued. "They're one of the top design firms in the country." "We haven't decided anything yet," he cut in sharply. "It's just an offer." "I've accepted the position," Connor corrected, finally looking at me. "The moving date is flexible, but I start in 6 weeks." My parents exchanged glances. My father cleared his throat. "And you'll be going too, Jada?" The question hung in the air. Connor said nothing, leaving me to answer. "We haven't figured that out yet," I managed, fighting back tears of humiliation. How dare he blindside me like this in front of my parents? That night, after they'd gone to the guest room, I confronted him in the kitchen.